Sounds good. Good morning, all, and happy to see you on the call as your efforts help grow our journal communities, ensure journal excellence, and high-value contributions with your peer review and ambassador chapter efforts. We've created a special program for you this morning and plan more for Blockchain in Healthcare Today and Telehealth and Medicine Today leadership members. This is the first working with our esteemed partner, ScienceOpen. Stephanie Dawson is our speaker this morning and will tell us more about utilizing search and discovery on ScienceOpen as an author and member of BHTY and TMT. Stephanie's the CEO of ScienceOpen. She grew up in California, studied biology at Yale University, and received her PhD in German literature from the University of Washington, and spent over a decade at the academic publisher De Gruyter in Berlin in the fields of biology and chemistry in both journal and book publishing. In 2013, she joined ScienceOpen as managing director in order to work towards more open solutions for scholarly communication. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker this morning, Stephanie Dawson.
Thank you very much, Tori. I'm very excited to speak with you today. I really appreciate the invitation by Partners in Digital Health to talk today about utilizing the features of ScienceOpen as an author or a journal editor. They are a fantastic and hardworking team. My name is Stephanie Dawson, as you heard, and I'm CEO of ScienceOpen, and I hope to introduce you today to some new digital tools to promote your own work for more research impact. It's really exciting to be working together with Partners in Digital Health on this project to promote the journals Telehealth, Medicine Today, and Blockchain in Healthcare Today. And I appreciate the opportunity to share some of ScienceOpen's features with you. I would like to talk today about what ScienceOpen and Partners in Digital Health are doing together to promote your publications, then what you can do yourself to reach out to readers and increase the visibility and impact of your work, and finally, describe some of the advanced features on the platform. ScienceOpen is a freely accessible discovery environment with over 67 million article, book, and chapter records, and a range of search filters to make your literature search more effective and interactive, and as well offers features for networking and community building. You can register for free and use all of our services without any fees. So thousands of people from all over the world search in nearly 67 million article records on ScienceOpen every day. The filters that we offer, such as open access or preprints, and the sorting mechanisms such as sort by citation number, sort by altmetric score, or date or usage, makes us an attractive discovery tool. Within this search environment, we highlight Partners in Digital Health content in a number of ways. At the top of the facets menu on the left, a kind of shortcut to different filter options, we show collections that contain some number of articles from the search results. In a search for blockchain, for example, that pulls up over 6,000 results, the journal Blockchain in Healthcare Today shows up prominently in this left-hand menu. The same is true for a search for telehealth or telemedicine. Articles from both of these journals have been added to ScienceOpen with a rich set of metadata, including abstracts, keywords, author affiliations, and more. And this increases their discoverability in a wide range of searches. So if I search for content created by researchers in Boston, it may turn up again telehealth and medicine today, because we have actually here affiliation information associated with these articles. And this really increases their discoverability within the platform. Additionally, having abstracts and keywords can really help those articles to get a boost in our similar article recommendation engine. So the journal landing pages on ScienceOpen offer really a user-centric view of the content with all of the same range of filters for quick and easy discoverability. Content is not organized into volumes or issues, but instead lets the user set the sorting priority. Newest first, most talked about online, highly cited. So this system really lets your top articles shine, sort of regardless of the volume or issue they were published in. And this provides a bit of an alternative. I think a lot of editors and also users appreciate browsing through issues and volumes. But as your journal grows and ages and you have more and more of those little folders, I think you will really appreciate having as well another view on that content that allows you to just jump in and say, what was the top altmetric score of the last 2 years? And that's the kind of features that we try to make available on ScienceOpen. One feature as well for your community, you can really stay up to date with the new content alert just by following the collection. Users can set their notifications to get a daily, weekly, or monthly summary of activity in the collection, and each collection as well has a submit manuscript button to encourage submissions to this new journal. And this button just leads to the journal's manuscript submission page here. So we really are trying to, get the message out and help you to get some new authors. You can also check on the usage statistics of a journal with just one click on the statistics button. And this is open for any user who's interested. And there you'll find changes in article count, usage number, share count, and activity over time. And you'll also find a map of the connections of the journal within the database. So you can see here, this journal has 28 publications, but they have 591 nodes of connection, of contextual information. So those are all links leading back to these articles. So I think that's a kind of a fun graphic to look at, to check on every once in a while. But we are only part of the story. So now I want to turn to what can you do to further promote your research on ScienceOpen and beyond. The first most basic thing that you can and really must do as an author is to share your newly published article with your network of peers. Traditionally, researchers used conferences and sent author copies by mail. Now, most researchers use Twitter and Facebook or scholarly networks like ResearchGate to get the news out about a new publication. It can be as simple as just putting the title and a link to your article on Twitter. Here are some examples. Our new paper is out now. And this can put your work in a wider context and get the attention of science bloggers, journalists, or other multipliers. So it's good to check out hashtags and things, but even if you feel like, oh, I don't know, Twitter is maybe not my specialty, but it is often used by a lot of researchers as a kind of search database. And so it's worth at least, one time posting the title of your article on there and see what happens. We try to make this easy for you from ScienceOpen with a one-click share button to share your articles via Twitter, Facebook, or email. And you can also see we have a share to the Sina Weibo network, which is a almost exclusively Chinese microblogging platform, very similar to Twitter. Having spent a bit of time in China and realizing that a lot of our social media channels really are not even available there, we wanted to be able to offer some equivalent easy tools, as we have a quite large audience in China. And And this feature really requires no registration, just takes a moment and can have a real impact. The next level of engagement, I would say, is the option on ScienceOpen to enhance the metadata around your article. So you can add an author summary in layman terms in your native language, or you can add a simple language summary with a catchy image to catch someone's attention. This will help you to reach a broader audience, can encourage more community feedback, and also increases the discoverability within the ScienceOpen platform by, as you can imagine, providing more text and concepts for our search engine. We also like to regularly promote articles on the site with author summaries. So we'll keep an eye out, and if we see somebody's written a nice one, we'll post that on our Twitter account as well. So how do you do it? First, you need to register on ScienceOpen, which is very easy, and then connect to your ORCID or create an ORCID profile. ORCID is a nonprofit organization supported by universities and research institutes, publishers, funders, and other stakeholders as a central identifier of author names and publication lists. Really just to make sure that you get credit as an author for all of the content that you publish. You can imagine I myself, a degree in biology and German literature. I've published a paper on Drosophila genetics and one on Goethe's Faust. No AI system in the world is going to say those two Stephanie Dawsons are the same. But that's where ORCID comes in. Once you have an ORCID, you can add all of your publications to it, and you can take it everywhere. To avoid profile fatigue, ScienceOpen really only adds and displays information from your ORCID. So we really are trying to dock onto different pieces of the scholarly infrastructure to prevent sort of duplication of effort. When you publish a new article, you can update your ScienceOpen profile with one click. And if you claim authorship of an article on ScienceOpen, we'll add that information back onto your ORCID. So if you found a paper on ScienceOpen, you're like, oh, I forgot to add that to my ORCID, no problem, just claim authorship and we will add that to your ORCID as well. Once your list of publications has been added to ScienceOpen, you can navigate to your profile and open an article. Here, you'll see a toolbar of features to enhance the visibility of your article. From this toolbar, you can add an author summary or an image, enhance keywords, or modify the discipline of your article. Also brand new, we now have data availability statements. So you can also let users know if there's a link from your paper to a open data repository, you can go ahead and add that. On all of the online activity that is tracked around your publication, so all of the shares that you did and other people's did, feed into your altmetric score. You can see that right there in the top left-hand corner, the colorful donut. A DOI is required for an altmetric score. Therefore, Partners in Digital Health works very hard to ensure that all publications are assigned a Crossref DOI. In the articles published in these Partners in Digital Health journals and beyond, you can sort by altmetric score to get a sense of how your work stacks up in terms of online mentions. Of course, this does not say really anything about the quality or impact of your work. And of course, some topics lend themselves more to an online conversation, but it may say something about the visibility of your work. And there are things that you can easily do, such as sharing online with your peers, adding your open access articles as supporting evidence to Wikipedia, or encouraging a mention of your work in a society newsletter or blogs. Here's an example from an article published in Blockchain and Healthcare Today that shows the richness of the altmetric information available to you. So if you click on that donut, then you'll see here that this article was mentioned in a news outlet and a blog, and on Twitter. On ScienceOpen, you can then track your usage statistics and also follow the development of your article views, citations, and our altmetric score over time. So that's what those statistics can look like. So now for some advanced features. The ScienceOpen platform offers a wealth of interactive options, and I would like to show you today our collection functionality for community curation and talk a little bit about reviewing articles. So this is an example of a researcher-led collection on ScienceOpen on blockchain technology. Researchers create these interactive lists as community resources for teaching or outreach. Whenever there's an overlap with another collection on the platform, it's visible at the top of the left-hand menu. Here are some other great collections on telehealth. So any researchers interested in creating a collection on a specific topic are welcome to get in touch, and we will help you get started. Researchers are typically using these collections to promote their research topic, to provide an interactive list of seminal papers for teaching or a living bibliography for review articles. These are easy to create and maintain and are also great mentoring projects. So if you're interested, we would love to help you. On ScienceOpen, it's also possible to review an article, very much like a book review, so post-publication, we like to say. ScienceOpen has an engine to invite potential reviewers, a built-in peer review questionnaire, ORCID integration for reviewers, publication of reviews to Crossref and ORCID. Reviews are promoted also widely on the site. Authors are welcome to invite reviewers with just a click of the button. And we also have further communication options like a one-click recommendation, a kind of like, as it were, and comments. If you read an article that is particularly good or impossibly bad, ScienceOpen is a great place to share your expertise. And these article reviews can be nicely paired with the researcher curated collection option, because they are, you can highlight within that group of articles maybe ones that are particularly worth looking at for your community, so you can give those you know, a 5-star review and say, definitely check this out. Usually the very bad ones you don't want to add to your collection. But if you're working on a comprehensive collection, that might be something that you are interested in as well. In summary, I would like to thank all of you for your interest and encourage your participation in this project. It is great to work with a publisher like Partners in Digital Health that is so active in exploring ways to reach the widest possible audience for your work. And I am very happy to answer any questions you might have. I'll just stop sharing for a moment and see if there's any questions. Feel free to type them into the chat or raise your hand.
Yeah, I'd encourage engagement and implore you not to be shy. This was great, Stephanie. Thanks so much. There's just, you know, I'm perpetually amazed by ScienceOpen because there is just so much depth there to engage with that it can and does very easily get, I think, a bit much, but this was great. And if we just, you know, follow your slide by slide, actually, I think it'll be great for us all. And
Fantastic.
certainly authors and research.
I would really love to see some of these researcher curated collections around topics in blockchain and telemedicine. I think we have a few that have been started by researchers, but we would definitely welcome more. There's a lot of subtopics that that you're working on, and I think anybody who's on the editorial board, who's an author, it's a really great way to show your research, you know, sort of in context. What are the other papers out there that that you would cite or that you would want to talk about, and how can you showcase your own work and the work of the journal sort of within that larger context? Well, it looks like it was pretty convincing, since there's no questions. But if any questions do come up, you can reach us at feedback@scienceopen.com. We are more than welcome. We are more than happy to answer anything that shows up after the webinar. There's one question here. This is the open platform. Can anybody write a paper, or does it require an institution registration? So on ScienceOpen, we are basically getting content from publishers. So if you are interested in publishing on the topic of blockchain or telehealth and telemedicine, then you can submit your article to one of these journals, and it will go through their own rigorous peer review process. That doesn't require any particular registration at all. And anybody can view the content on the platform. There's no subscriptions, or there's no access control at all on ScienceOpen. Then if your article goes through the peer review process and is accepted and is published in one of these journals, then it will be automatically added to the ScienceOpen platform. And there you can, with one click, add it to your ORCID profile. You can share it. You can add a summary. You can track all of your usage on the platform. So there's a lot of ways that you can get involved. But of course, the first step is actually submitting a manuscript.
Okay. All right. I think you answered that, Stephanie. Well done. So I think we can wrap it up in that case. What do you think?
Sure. Like I said, we can we will make this webinar available on YouTube. You can use it as a podcast. There's different ways that people can come back and use it as a resource. And like I said, we are completely open. If you have a question down the road, just get in touch.
We'll be posting it for all our board members and ambassadors as well. And if there are any questions, you can also email me direct or email info@partnersindigitalhealth.com. Happy to help anytime.
Great. Thanks for the opportunity to speak to your community, Tori, and we'll be looking for a lot of new manuscripts coming forward.
Thanks so very much, Stephanie.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.